Alright, so to change hitbox colors in debug mode in PM, there is this handy pastebin document that contains a bunch of addresses to various hitbox IDs, hurtbox IDs, invulnerability, etc. And all you gotta do is right click your Brawl ISO and Dolphin, go to Properties, go to Patches, and add a patch. You can name it anything that you want to name it. I'll just name it ID 0. And I'll use this one right here, which is for ID 0. And all you gotta do is make a D word. The offset value is the address of whatever thing it is you want to change the color of. So in this case, I'll change the color of ID 0. And the value is simply take whatever color it is that you want, say in hexadecimal. So I'll do, I don't know, let's do this like cyan color. So that's 00EAFF. I'll copy that, add it in here. Make sure you remove the hashtag because you don't need it, and it'll mess things up if you have it in. So now we have 6 digits, but you're gonna want 8 in total. The first 6 are the color value in hex, and then the final 2 represent the opacity of the hitbox that shows up. So since it's hex, something like FF would be fully opaque, and something like 00 would be fully transparent, or basically invisible. I like to use A0 kind of as just a nice kind of in between. I think it looks pretty good, but you can certainly experiment with it and see what works well for you. So bam, we've added ID 0. Now on top of that, I'll go through and just do the process again for a few of the other IDs. So I'll do this one's ID 1. Just name it ID 1 to make it easier. Put the address in there, and then let's make this one purple. So I'll do this color. Make sure I take the hashtag out. I'll add a 0 to the end. Boom. And then I'll do one more for ID 2. Now, these IDs are all dependent on the actual in-game ID of the hitbox. So, for example, I have here, oops. That's strange. What's the issue? I didn't create it. Oh, whoops, I didn't make it a D word. That's why. What's this one? Ah, there we go. All right. So we have ID 0, 1, and 2 now. And just like, for example, if you go to, say, Rukai data, and I'll just do Mewtwo's, I don't know, I'll do Mewtwo's back air. This has ID 0, 1, and 2, so that's what will show up. But there's some moves where maybe you'll have, like, ID, like, 2, 3, and 4, whatever the case may be, so that's what will show up. So if you want, you can do all 7 of these hitboxes IDs, although I'm pretty confident that like the first few are way more common than these final couple of ones. I think it's pretty rare for there to be like 7 hitbox IDs in one move, but it happens sometimes. So I have these patches on, they're enabled because they're checked. I'll just boot PM. Alright, now we're in the game. I'll just go, I'll go Fox, why not? And now if I turn on hitboxes, normally in vanilla they're all red, but now you'll see that they're all different colors because these represent 0, 1, and 2. You can nair and see the same thing, so this is a nice way to help identify and separate each of the hitboxes. And it's just as simple as that. And you can even edit it where you can make, say, this yellow color on Fox for his hurtbox can be a different color. You can make it so that when they're invincible, when they show up as blue, you can make that, say, white or something, or yellow, whatever you want to make it. And then it will just show up when you play the game. It's quite useful. I personally like to use it on my own build. And then the other thing I wanted to go over was the L cancel flash. Now, what do I mean by that? So, as you probably know, in PM, when you successfully hit a L cancel, your character flashes a kind of like white flash over them to indicate that, like, hey, you hit the L cancel successfully. But if you're willing to mess with the code of the game just a little bit, you can change that to a different color, which might be useful for practicing L canceling. I like to enable it, for example, as a way to tell if, like, more easily if I hit the L cancel or not. I'll make it some, like, really obnoxious, like, green color or something. So, for example, your build will come with Dolphin with the SD file, but you can easily just copy this file, which I recommend doing because if you are editing your SD card, it does mean that if you, say, try to net play someone, your files on your cards will be, even though it's a very slight change, it could potentially lead to desyncs or other issues. So I would recommend just having two different copies of your card, one that you can just use when you're practicing offline and then switch to the other one when you're net playing, for example. Or you can even just make a new separate build of Dolphin entirely just for offline practice, etc. You know, whatever works best for you. But it's just something to keep in mind. So here I have, this is the vanilla card, and this is the one that I'm going to edit. Oh, I should also mention that I personally like to use this program. It's called I'mDisk Virtual Disk. To you can mount these SD raw files as if you actually were putting a real SD card into your computer. I'll see if I can find a link to the program and put it in the description for anyone to download. But anyways, within your SD cards files, you'll find the source folder, Project Plus, and then this file, where is it? lcancel.asm. Yeah, I'm going to open up these two files. I'll open up the vanilla one first, and then I will open up this one, and I'll put these side by side. Now, all we're looking for here are, you can just open these up in any text editor, default Windows text editor, Notepad++, etc. So what we're looking for is this section of it, which is initial color. And then you'll see down here, target color of transition. So what we can do to edit the colors of these is that you'll notice there are these letters here, right here as well. The only reason I have two open right now is just because I have the two SD cards open. So this is what it looks like on a vanilla card, and this is the one that I'm going to edit. So the way it works is that these first four letters right here, these first four digits, whatever you want to call them, and then these two right down here, these six represent your hex color that you want to change it to. So for example, I'm going to make mine just this really bright yellow, just so it's super noticeable, and that would be a color of DDFF00. So what I want to do is DDFF, because that's the first four of the color I'm looking for, and then the final were 00. So here I will change this to 00, perfect. And then these last two, similar to what we were talking about earlier, represent the opacity of it. So what I'll do is, 00 would be invisible and FF would be fully opaque. Again, you can mess with it, whatever you prefer, whenever, feels best to you, but I personally prefer to have it just fully opaque to make the flash that much more noticeable. So that covers changing the color. Then down here, this color of transition, this represents what color it transitions to, because in vanilla it kind of goes from like full white flash to it slowly becomes more and more transparent and like a slightly different white, something like that. So this, once again, is very similar, where it's the first six or whatever it is that you want your color to be. So again, it is DDFF00 for this color, so I'll do DDFF. Then down here, I'll do 00. However, these last two right here, these last two zeros, do not edit these. Make sure these are 00. In the past, when I was experimenting with this, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was just kind of trial and erroring it, and I changed them. And what I ended up doing is I changed the timing of L canceling, where rather than having the amount of landing lag you have, it made it like instantly cancel it with 0 landing lag, it like completely changed the frame data of all the moves and everything. I don't know why changing the code for the color affects the actual timing of it, but it's probably just weird ASM PM spaghetti shit. I don't know. But long story short, these final 2 under the color transition part, just do not edit those. Make sure those are 0, 0. The only thing you have to edit are these first 6, which just represent the color. So now that we've done that, I have saved this edited file, and now on this SD right here, because this is the one that I plan on editing. All I gotta do is take these TXT files, and you want to drag your TXT files onto gct realmate.exe. That opens up this terminal, and it just writes a bunch of stuff, and then you can just close it. And all this is doing is it's just taking whatever it is you have on these text files and converting them into these GCT files, which are basically cheat files that PM uses to modify Brawl, etc., etc. I don't know if you have to do all of these, but I do just to be safe and just to make sure, because some of them include basically the ASM file that we just edited. So just to keep it simpler and cause less headaches, I just do all of them just to keep it simple. So this should be good to go now. So I'm gonna just eject these virtual SD cards that I have. I will open up my Dolphin build. And now what I'm gonna do is you go to config paths, and down here, the SD card path, you can select it. So first I'm gonna open up this sd.raw. This is just the unedited default SD card. I'll just go random character. I'll go Falco, why not? And you'll see when I hit my L cancels, it's a simple white flash. Oops. I missed it. Bam, I hit the L cancel, white flash, and then you'll see it kind of slowly goes away. So that's what it looks like by default. Now I will change it to the edited SD card that I have. And you can also name these SD card files anything you want. You can name this vanilla, and then the other one like modded, or one of them be like online, offline, whatever you want. All that really matters is just whatever SD card you have, it matches the person that you're net playing with. So if you are editing it, make sure that you use a vanilla one for net play, just to prevent desyncs. So I will once again open this up. We will take a look at PM. I'll once again go Falco, and hopefully, if it all went well, when I L cancel, it's now a different color, as you can see. It's now this very bright, obnoxious yellow color, and Falco's even like fully opaque when he hits it. And Falco's dare has 9 frames of landing line we L cancel, so let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Just to make sure that none of the timings got messed up and everything is, you know, still accurate for practicing and everything. But yeah, now you can have different colors when L canceling and the flash that shows up. And I like this just because I think it's useful to, when you're practicing, it's much more like visually clear if you hit the L cancel or not, which I just think is very useful for practicing.